Hello, Titans fans. Remember a week ago about this time? We were like 27 points scored, only 4 incomplete passes from Tannehill, 8-game losing streak snapped, depression lifted. I feel like 3 hours of watching football just undid it all. It's just welcome in to another video from the Titan Bros. We are Titan fans and we are bros. And by bros, I mean biological brothers.
Thank you for that introduction.
I'm trying to sound positive in any way that I can. But yeah. So just to put it shortly and mildly, and to give my brother a chance to talk a little bit, Titans fall to the Cleveland Browns. The floor is yours.
Yeah, that was the ugliest game we lost in quite some time. We ended the season last year with 7 losses in a row. This one could be the ugliest. You mentioned off air that against the Eagles could have been the ugliest, but I think this one, because Eagles was the best team last year, so them beating you like that, no big deal. I don't think anyone thinks Browns is at least I don't think they're a powerhouse in the NFL. I don't.
Me neither.
I
don't think they're good.
Bad last Monday night. They just put a whooping on us.
Statistically, that was by far the best game Deshaun Watson has played since 2020.
And are you surprised that his best game as a Cleveland Browns against Titans? I'm not, because that's just
nope. Because let's be honest, I don't know if Burrow's going to play or not. But if he doesn't, especially if he doesn't, I'm sure Burrow will have his get-right game against us.
Well, yep, exactly.
Of course, we'll save that for another time, but...
Yes, but I'll say, I think our offense being so bad doesn't shock me. Our offense is bad. I think it's just safe to say that. Yeah, we did 27 points against the Chargers, who was terrible defense. And they, once again, if you watched this week, they let the Vikings score a bunch of points. So they have a bad defense. So we scored 27 on them. Yay. But... today, our offense being bad, not a shocker. But what's really shocking to me is Watson, who has been really bad this year, and an offense without Chubb, went up and down the field all day long on us.
Yeah, well, if I was power ranking what the worst part of our team was today, I would say offensive line. But if I had to say what was the most troubling part of today, I'm going to say it's the secondary.
Yeah.
Because too many busted plays.
There was a lot of busted plays, yeah.
A lot of busted plays. Because let's be honest, they took away a touchdown where they threw it to Mari Cooper, didn't even come close to stepping out of bounds.
The refs
and they, for some reason, whistled him dead. Some reason, don't know why. That should have been a long touchdown. Then they did get that long touchdown. Was it to Mari Cooper later? Busted coverage between Fulton and Hooker.
Yeah, I think it may have been.
I think it was. Let me see if he had a touchdown. Yeah, he had 7 receptions, 116 yards, and a touchdown. So, and then we had allowed Elijah Moore to get 9 receptions for 49 yards against us. So, if I'm being honest, the thing that was the number one reason why we lost was our O-line. Biggest concern, though, was just that secondary. Because it don't matter how good our front 7 is, or if our cornerbacks can't cover, then they don't need but 2 seconds to drop back and find somebody.
One, I agree with that. But 2, I would say also, though, once again, if you look at the numbers, we didn't do terrible in the run defense. Once again, we did pretty good at that. But I didn't like our pass rush. There was too many times Watson stood there with plenty of time, and obviously he carved us up. So I really want to see more out of Simmons. I want to see way more, actually, honestly, out of Harold Landry. He gets paid too much for that. I want to see more on Key. He started off strong, but honestly, on Key just wasn't, I didn't see much of him. He actually did bad. He missed a lot of tackles, and I didn't like on Key.
Arden Key didn't have his best game, no.
Danico Autry didn't do so well today, pass rush-wise. So there was so much on that defense that surprised me, and I just did not like. So...
yeah, we did bottle up the run because P. Strong Jr., I don't even know who the heck that is, he was the only one who did decent. He was 6 carries, 27 yards for 4.5 average. But then Jerome Ford, who was their lead back, was 10 carries, 18 yards. That's a 1.8 average. Kareem Hunt was 5 rushes, 13 yards, which was only 2.6 average. H. Bryant was 2 of 4 for a 2-yard average. M. Goodwin was 1 rush, 1 yard, 1 yard average. Elijah Moore had 3 rushes for -1 yards. So we kept them intact, but if teams can just throw against us, what does it even matter?
Yeah, I mean, that is troubling for sure. We gotta find a way. Well, you know what's one thing I want to do? Well, I want our cornerbacks to play up close. And this is not just a today's Titans issue. It's been an issue for years. But we always have our cornerbacks so far back. And it's just so easy to carve us up like that.
No, there's way too many where we just line up too far where either one, they get a catch and they get 5 yards before we even get to them, which when you're giving them 5-yard minimum plays like that, I don't like that. 2, we line up so far back that they can just like a 7-yard out route. But because they go from standing completely still to trying to make a break on the out route, we're not able to get it. And they get the catch for the out route and then they get ushered out. I remember it was the Saints, I believe, that did that to us over and over and over again. And I'm just like,
it was the Chargers, actually. But
was it the Chargers? No, actually, I think the Saints did too. I feel like they had like a bunch of plays in a row where they just kept on just doing out routes. Like Chris Olave and Michael Thomas were getting us on a lot of them early on, at least. But I'm just like, there's so many gimme plays. And when we play, people man up. Like they don't not just man up, they just like up in our grill man up. And they take away those plays. They take away those plays.
What, I'm going to tie that over to what I was something I'm going to say. And yes, our offensive line is bad. Tannehill didn't have much time to throw. But our receiving core just needs explosiveness. They don't have it. They don't get separation. Hopkins never was a separation guy, so I get that. But Traylon Burks always has someone in his back pocket. He doesn't make good catches when he should. And he ended with 1 catch for 5 yards, which, if you remember correctly, that was his very first pass play. We got it to him. And he got tackled by the first person. Man, he's just not showing anything special to me. Like, I don't see special with him right now. Yes, you can blame Tannehill. Yes, you can blame the offensive line. But I really wish I could see more out of him.
I don't know if you could blame Tannehill, but I will say my battery for my computer is only 4%. So I want you to start bashing this offensive line because everything you're about to say, I'm going to agree with. And I'm going to be right back, all right? Let the people know how bad our O-line is.
Okay, so offensive line is bad, as Gabriel alluded to. And it kind of sucks, though, that our rookie guard, Peter Skronsky, can't play because I do believe he's good. Now, how much of a difference can one guard make? That, I don't know exactly, but because really those tackles is what struggled today. I thought Hubbard did awful today, but oddly enough, I thought he's been pretty decent this season, but not today. And then Mr. Dillard has been just awful. Like, he needs to go ASAP. The only problem is we don't really have anyone to replace him with. And that's just an issue that I'm just upset with it altogether because going into this offseason, I said that the Titans need to address – I don't care what else happens. We got to fix this offensive line. And sadly, 3 weeks in, it looks just as bad as it has last year. And last year was really bad.
I apologize. My computer died, much like the Titans offense, the Titans offensive line, as well as the Titans secondary. My computer died. So I'm back. And I'm not sure anything Josiah just said, but I fully agree with it. I fully agree with it. I think our offensive line did not give us a chance to win the game. And this might be repeating a lot of what you just said. There were no holes for Derrick Henry. He was hitting in the backfield, like not just one guy, maybe 2. There was like 4 or 5 people before he could even get to the line of scrimmage. Same thing with Tyjae Spears when he tried to run the ball. There were just no time to throw. There wasn't. The only time Tannehill did good with the football in his hands is when he just snapped it, first read through it. Like there was no time for progression. So you better hope whoever this play was drawn up to kind of go to was open. Because if they weren't, then he's just going to go, oh crap, and get sacked.
To be honest, oh my goodness, and this is tough to say because last year I remember saying, man, this may be one of the worst offensive lines I've seen. This year we're trying to do that again because especially today.
Dillard was awful. Dillard was awful.
Literally was catching the snap and there'll be someone in his face. I'm like, how you? It was like we had 5 Dennis Dailies out there. It was pathetic. And I watched it closely. More than being bull rushed, I just saw them do swim move after swim move after swim move. And it doesn't matter if they pass blocking or run blocking. It was getting past them every single time. I'm like, guys, they're going to try to swat your hand. And they would do it again and let them get past. It was pathetic.
3.5 sacks for Good old Myles Garrett. I had a feeling we would hate him by the end of the day.
Which
Definitely
funny,
do.
I said, gotta help him. We left Dillard in one-on-ones way too much.
That's a coaching problem. So there's the first time where I've been like, Tim Kelly,
Yep.
not happy with you there. Not happy with you there.
I completely agree. That's a terrible coaching thing like that. And something I said I wanted to do, which Kelly apparently did not watch this channel, Gail, and listen to us. But I said we need to throw in a couple trick plays, just keep them off of, put them on the heels. We didn't do anything like that.
No, we didn't flea flicker. We didn't wildcat. We didn't do anything.
Nope.
It was just a snap, catch, sack, and call it a day. That's all. Basically, all we did on offense. Like I wouldn't even know how to. Like if someone asked me to grade Tannehill, A to F, I would give him an A. Like there's no. You can't put a rating on that. I mean, he took the sack so well. He only fumbled once, but
it was pathetic. If you look at the receivers' numbers, everyone had a bad game when it comes to receptions and yards. But again, it's because the receivers were useless out there because Tannehill was getting sacked or rushed so fast. Do you know what I mean?
I agree. We could literally have Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson on the outsides. That could be our wide receivers, and I don't know that would have affected the game a whole lot. There were a few plays where I would love to have seen Treylon Burks come up with a congested catch.
Yeah, me too.
But besides those 2-ish plays, it didn't matter who our wide receivers were.
It was pathetic. This offensive line is so bad. In both, can you be good at one? Can you run block? Can you pass block? These guys suck so bad. All 5 of them. Want to give it out. The only thing, and I was saying this before your computer died, I can't wait till we get Peter Skoronski back. But the problem is this offensive line is so bad. I'm not sure what difference one left guard can make.
I shouldn't say this out loud. I'm going to do it anyway. If Chris Hubbard didn't play as well today, because he actually played solid the first 2 weeks, but he wasn't good today.
That's something I said.
So if he plays back to average-ish, Nicholas Petit-Frere played left and right tackle in college. I would be willing to try him out at left tackle.
He can't be worse than Dillard.
He could, because he could be Dennis Daly.
Well, that's fine.
I'll say it this way. Dillard has been bad. Dennis Daly's been the worst offensive lineman I've ever seen play on the offensive line position. So could be worse technically. But I don't see how Nicholas Petit-Frere could be worse than Dillard.
It's just bad. And I don't know how Brunskill did or
Brewer.
What's the other guard's name? Redden. So
Radens. Yeah. Radens.
I don't know how they did in the pass blocking because I know our tackles got beaten that more. But I know the run blocking sucked. Like whenever we went up the middle, those two would always be
there was no holes. There were no holes. There was like one play where there was a hole and Henry had like 8 yards, and I'm like, woo! That's a splash play for us, and then that's basically all that happened. And so here's the problem we had. And this is something I should have said before the season and then predict that we go 7-10. But
time. What did you predict our record to be, Gabriel?
Chris Moore and Malik Willis. Wait, nope, that's not right. I said that's 11-7. That's a lot of games. I guess what's our punter's name? Nick.
Not Corn. Wow, that's Stonehouse.
No, that's our punter.
Nick Folk.
Folk, yeah, there we go. I couldn't think of Folk's. Yeah, I think he's number 6 now. But yeah, I think I said 11-6, so I'm embarrassed. But
that's not an 11-team win.
No, not the way we played. But let's be honest, nobody thought Dillard would be not nobody, because a lot of people said the worst offseason move was Andre Dillard. Like a lot of national people, like worst and best free agent additions across the NFL, and a lot of them had Andre Dillard as the worst. Which now that I'm thinking about the fact that we're paying him 3-year, $29 million.
Bad job, Carthon.
Yeah, bad job, Carthon. Your first, if you want to call it a big move free agency, but not good. Here's the biggest problem is we didn't have money. We were -30 or whatever it was, -30 million. We had a chance. We were at a crossroad. Stick with what we got. Give Tannehill more weapons around him, just somehow, some way with your draft capital mostly, and replace old people who are getting paid a lot, who's hurt and not consistent, with someone who can give you about the same but way less. That way we're under the cap. Do that or tank the season. The Falcons wanted Tannehill. Trade Tannehill. Bills, Eagles, some other teams were rumored to want Derrick Henry. Trade Derrick Henry. Give Malik Willis the start. Tank a season. And then in 2024, bounce back. We basically have those two options. Sell, go rebuild, go for the future. We tried to find this place in the middle where we could.
Failed on.
It's looking like it. Because right now the Colts are sitting at 2-1. If they had to pull the upset in the overtime, we'd be a 3-way tie for 1 or a 4-way tie for 1 and 2 at the division.
Think about it. Are you done with your story?
I guess. I guess the conclusion is you can either tank or go for it. We decided to try to do it where we never have the bad year, where we kind of still stay competitive, and then, but still, have everybody leave after the year like Tannehill and Derrick Henry. But then we have our new Tajay Spears, Will Levis, and things like that. And for now, we're sitting at 1 and 2, and 2 of the games we didn't score a single touchdown.
Yeah, what I was about to say. The problem is, I think we failed on making this team competitive. So what we should have done, we should have just tanked. Get a good draft, get good draft capital. Because I think Henry, not after this year, but I think before this year, I think we could have traded something decent for him. Get Tannehill, get something decent for him. Get some draft picks and stuff. But instead, we didn't, and we suck.
Here's the problem I'm having. This would break my heart because I like Derrick Henry. He's done nothing but good for us on and off the field. But the way we're starting and as little as we use him, if we start off like 2-7, it would not surprise me if we trade him at the trade deadline.
Yeah, because he's almost benched. He's literally almost benched.
Yeah, I don't know what the offensive snaps were like because this is only a couple hours after like an hour and a half after the game ended. So I don't know like snap count or anything, but I didn't see him play much.
He was on the sidelines a lot, and I mean not just obvious passing downs. I'm running downs. He was on the sidelines.
Yeah, now
he's basically benched.
Week 2 he played a lot. Week 2 he played a lot, but week 1 he played 47% of the snaps this year. This week I'd say probably about 47-50%. So I would hate to see us trade him after everything he's done for our city, everything he's done for our team. He might want to be traded, but at the same time, he's got a child here and he's got a life here and his family and friends. And
yeah, but if someone says, "Hey, we're trading you to the Chiefs," I think he'd be like, "Okay, I could go win a Super Bowl."
Yeah, I don't think he's an Andy Reid guy. I feel like Andy Reid is nothing but speed and finesse.
I think you know what I mean. If we trade Eagles, we trade him to the Eagles, he'd be like, okay, because they like power running. But here's the thing, an observation I noticed on Kelly.
Maybe the Browns need a replacement for Nick Chubb.
Maybe, yeah. But here's something I noticed about Kelly, and I think him and Vrabel has two different philosophies, is what I'm gathering. I think week 1, week 3, not using Henry is a Kelly thing. I don't think Kelly wants to be that power running anymore. We threw the ball a lot more than we ran. Grant was behind. But I'll say Kelly wants to do the empty sets. He wants to not run Henry. He wants to have that scat back and sharp. But remember, after week 1,
Spears.
And after week 1, Vrabel was like, we need to make sure we use them. We need to make sure we use them. We used them. Well, I think that's to make Vrabel happy. And then we'll go back to week 3, not using them again. So it makes me wonder if they have a conflicting thing that Vrabel still wants to be that power
Here's
guy.
Here's the thing, though. The thing that makes me feel weird. In that power battle, I would agree with Tim Kelly. I want to spread it out and throw it. The problem is we ain't scored a touchdown into the games that we throw it. In the game we go back to his thing, we scored 27 points and have the best offense we've had since November of last year.
And I would say this, I agree with that, but I think the biggest thing is Chargers' defense sucks. So I think that helps.
They shouldn't, but they do some reason.
Yeah, I agree with that. They should.
27 to us. I think they allowed about that to the Vikings. Like 24 to the Vikings. Then it was like 31 against the Dolphins. Of course, then again, the Dolphins did just drop 70 points on the Broncos, but
I think like 24 points is the best they've done so far, which is not great. No. But anyway, I think we're slightly chasing rabbits here. We're not really talking about the game as much, but I'm just saying, unless this offensive line improves, I think we're done for. And that sounds dramatic. I trust that our defense will get somewhat back going. But you got to admit, this offensive line was so bad. We can't run the ball. We can't throw the ball. It doesn't matter who our skill positions are. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Because I saw so many people saying, put Malik in. What would he do? I mean, maybe he could run out of pressure a little bit better. But what would he do? I mean, Tannehill was literally catching it and getting hit. He didn't have time to even look down up the field. So this might sound pathetic, especially, unless we're going against another horrible defense like the Chargers. With this offensive line playing like this, our offensive line is just dead in the water. Our offense is just dead in the water. We got no chance, no hope, no nothing.
And again, the most upsetting and troubling thing in my mind is with this secondary, our defense is not going to be able to bail the offense out.
Yeah, that's the thing. Today's kind of a wake-up call a little bit, but I'm still thinking, maybe our defense is not going to help us win as many games as I thought we would. Like with the Saints, that defense held us in though, and offense couldn't do enough. Well, against this game, now Grant, we only scored 3 points, but our defense did nothing to make this a close game.
I agree.
So I don't know where to go.
So we can stop the run, and we have the best kicker in the NFL. After watching Justin Tucker miss that 60-yard field goal, which would have won him the game. So now I'm completely convinced that we have the best kicker in the league, a good old 38-year-old Nick Folk, and we have a good run-stopping defense. And that's all we got going for us. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. And I think we're on a sad state of fails right here because I just don't see where we go. If you can't block people, if you can't give Tannehill a second to throw, and if Derrick Henry's got 5 people hitting him, what do you call? What do you do in this situation?
I do agree. Like, I feel bad for Henry. I feel bad for Tannehill. And honestly, I feel bad for the wide receivers because what do you do? They can't hold up long enough for him just to go snap. Okay, he's not open. All right, we'll go this way and throw it. He don't have time to do that. It's literally got to, like I said earlier, he has to hit his first read. And then the running game's useless. The running game's 100% useless. I had the stats pulled up earlier, but I'm going to tell you exactly how many, what the whole stitch here is.
No, I want to say Henry had 19 yards, I think. And then I think he
broke 20. Yeah, he's 20. And Tajay Spears was 4 rushes, 6 yards. So we had 15 rushes for 26 yards. That's it. That might be the worst rushing total as a team that I've ever seen us have. Now, here's a problem. Tannehill won't run.
He never
tries.
He does not now, I guess.
If you take away that one touchdown run, which was nice, it was great to see. If you take away that one touchdown run he hasn't had any scrambles this season.
When you get old, you don't get hit. And Zach, what's funny is he's getting hit a lot.
He's getting hit a lot.
And Zach, but I feel like he's just done running. Like that part of, which is annoying because Tannehill's not a great quarterback. I don't think anyone said that. But with his arm good enough and him being able to run, that together made him pretty decent when he first came to us. But he ain't a runner anymore. He just does not run anymore. And so that kind of loses. And something that he had in his toolbox, let's say, his tool belt. He just don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
But very depressing. What an ugly loss to an average team to me. Just an average team we just lost to.
I agree. I don't see the Browns doing anything this year.
They're not a playoff team in my book.
I mean, no, me neither. Not with this heavy, loaded AFC that's going on.
Now, granted, Ravens are 2-1 now. Steelers are 0-2, and Bengals are 0-2. So Browns are technically right in there to win it.
They are. But guess what? They ain't playing who they're playing next week. It's not the Titans' pathetic secondary and offensive line. So.
Wait a second.
What?
Not important. But who won Browns or Steelers last Monday night or whatever it was?
Steelers.
Okay, I said Steelers are 0-2, so Steelers are 1-1. But either way, Browns are technically on top of that division.
Yeah, technically.
Anyway.
So, if I say, moving towards a conclusion, the issue that I'm having is I don't know what to do. Whether I was the head coach, whether I was the offensive coordinator, whether I was the general manager, I would be like, I don't know how you fix it. Like,
that's the problem.
There's no O-line we can go after. I would say let's trade for a O-lineman, like a good tackle. But we're already missing like 2 or 3 draft picks next season. I think it's a third. We don't have a third and like a 5th rounder or something already. I agree. So like if we trade like a 2nd rounder in the top 5 rounds, we'll have a 1st round pick, a 4th, and I think it's it.
I don't want to do that.
So yeah, I almost feel like this year is just already getting beyond fixed.
I agree. I'm
Fixable.
This close to saying just lose 10 games and actually lose 12 games and call it a season.
And I feel stupid saying all this because we lost by 1 point in week 1 and then we won. So we were this close to being 2-0 coming into this game. This close to being 2-0. But now we're here.
Say we're this close to being 0-3.
That's true. That's true as well. So basically, yes, we are overreacting to a rough start to the season. And technically, we started better this season than we did last season, but I guess that's not something we should talk about because we ended up going 7-10 last season. But we started off 0-2. We had a close loss by 1 point like we did this year, but then we got blew out in week 2, and then we ended up getting all the way to 7-3. So there's always hope. But this
not
O-line,
with this offensive line. Not with this offensive line.
I really don't understand how we're worse though, because we're both saying Dillard's horrible, but not as bad as Dennis Daly.
I think we're bad just all across more than we was last year.
And thing is, I completely disagree with that take though, because if you stop and think, who do you like better, a rookie Treylon Burks and Robert Woods, or a year 2 Treylon Burks?
I'm talking offensive line.
DeAndre Hopkins. Well, okay, offensive line. Let's talk about that then. Skronsky being gone hurts, but who do you trust more, Dillard or Daly?
They're both bad. Let's not act like Dillard's anyway good, but
cool.
Dillard, but they're both
okay.
Cool.
Who do you take better, Skronsky or Aaron Brewer?
I don't know if that's a good take because Skronsky only played 1 game, so I don't know if you could say that. But
Aaron Brewer's awful, and Skronsky's been our best.
Well, no, what I'm trying to say though is like obviously I would take Skronsky, but he's missed 2 games, so I'm talking about as right now.
Yeah, but if that's the case, then that means that's fixable, and there's lots of hope in the future because we should be getting him back next week or the week after that.
I would take Ben Jones all day.
Even at 34, missing a lot of time with knee injuries and concussions.
I would take him over Aaron Brewer.
Okay.
And then who was the other guard? Oh yeah, I'd take
Nate Davis. Okay, and then Chris Hubbard or NPF.
Definitely start season NPF. I don't know about the. Well, I think I would still take NPF over. I think Hubbard. I don't know. Either way, I would take that. If you move Daly out, I would take that offensive line better than this offensive line. But
technically, you don't even say that with your own words, because if you like Dillard better than Daly, that's 1 on the new offensive line. If you like Skronsky better than Brewer, 2 on the new offensive line. Then you got Ben Jones and Nate Davis on this side. But technically, it's going to be NPF when he comes back. So do you want a year 2 NPF or a year 1 NPF? I'm sure you're going to want the year 2. So technically, by your own admission, you actually like the new offensive line better.
I don't. Because again, with the NPF thing, he played better maybe than what he actually is. Because and we'll see in year 2, but he starts so good, and then he kind of starts slowing down. But that start NPF, I might take that over second year NPF because we don't even know if NPS is technically good. He could have just had a really hot start, so we shall see about that. But the numbers speak for itself. This offensive line, Tannehill can't throw the ball. Derrick Henry, instead of having 1 guy behind the line, he's got 5 people behind the line. So I mean, the performance speaks for itself. You know, I don't think it's
with our best offense, it's very much crazy. Our best offensive linemen didn't play. Our offensive line was average at very best in week 1 and 2, but it was passable. Skronsky being gone, or I guess. Week one, it was actually not bad. It was league average. Week 2 was pretty bad, but without our best offensive lineman, it was kind of bad in week 2, horrible in week 3. But when you have your best by far, best offensive lineman not playing, that matters. You can't tell me there's no difference between Skronsky and Aaron Brewer at left guard.
Well, of course there is, but like I said before you left. Sadly, again, I think I would take last year's offensive line more than this one, but I would say there's absolutely. I just don't know when Peter comes back, how much difference can one left guard take? We'll see.
Well, we saw we went from being bad, from being average offensive line in week 1.
I think
statistically, we were a top 10 offensive line. I don't agree with that, but being an average offensive line to being a bad to then horrible.
Either way, you can say we're going the wrong direction.
I mean, I agree, but it's because there's no Peter Skronsky. So you're saying what kind of a difference can he make? But there's been a huge issue ever since.
But the thing is, I feel like I have to look at it again. I feel like most of that pass rush was through the tackle position. So again, Peter Skronsky was there. I'm not sure how much he would help. But either way, I guess you and I have to agree to disagree with this because I would definitely take last year's offensive line over this year. Yeah, but you wouldn't.
Your words just don't make sense. Because how can you say I would rather us have a rookie NPF than a second year NPF? That doesn't make sense.
Because NPF was a third round pick, so we actually don't even know if he's good. We know he started off good, which that's the NPF I'm talking about.
Yeah, but he hasn't gotten worse. He hasn't gotten worse than he was last year. That doesn't make sense. For starters, he wasn't great last year. He was average at times.
Good, and then he started fading out. And
Wrong.
I'm scaling that fade now.
Wrong. He was average. average and had times where he was awful. Maybe was it towards the end of the year? Yes, but guess what? That was still from last year. So would you rather have an average at best but terrible at times as well, or a year 2 MPF?
I think you overcomplicated. Let's just say this: last year, offensive line played better than this year. You can say the names and stuff. Last year, offensive line was better than this year.
I disagree, especially when we had Skoronski in the lineup.
All right, well, you can disagree, but hey, this is the thing. We can debate about this. We don't have to agree.
Plus, you have to take health into consideration with an offensive line because Ben Jones and Nate Davis were both just in and out and in and out and in and out all year last year. So when they're both not in, then suddenly you're getting Aaron Brewer at center last year, and then you're getting some. I don't even remember who we put in at left guard after he would slide over, and then when Nate Davis would be out, we'd throw in a Jordan Roos or just some other random no-name lineman that would just do awful. So you have to add that in there as well.
Well, you also gotta I'm sorry, I just care about performance, and Henry would have to break one tackle, and then maybe could get a couple of yards out of it. This is all 3 weeks, honestly, but he's getting the ball with 3 guys back those, which means everyone's messing up, and it's just Tannehill's got less time to throw with, so that's what I care about, and they're not performing well.
And it wasn't as bad. It wasn't as bad in week 1, and then week 2 was kind of a mixed bag. It was not great. That wasn't great. But that's why I'm still saying Peter Skoronski is going to help. I mean, he's 11th overall, first round pick. If he's not going to make a difference, then why would you ever care about who's playing guard?
I'm not saying he's not going to make a difference, but I'm saying if when he comes back, this offensive line is probably still going to be really bad. That's what I'm saying, and that I don't think you can argue with. Can you?
I mean, it's not going to be good. But week one with them, we were league average. Statistically, we were top 10. I still don't agree with that part. But if we were league average with him, and then we've not been good at all since he's been gone, you can't say that doesn't. There's no correlation.
This is a real thing to argue about. I do believe that. Obviously, I believe I'm correct and you're not. But either way, guess what? We got this offensive line, and even you say, because this is another reason I think under your own mission that you kind of agree with me, because you say. This offensive line is so bad, we don't know what to do. What do you call? We wasn't never like that last year. Last year we just
I don't know. Maybe
ball.
Draft an offensive lineman in the first round. Oh wait, we did, and now he's injured.
I'm talking about right now, buddy. Right now.
Well, I know we can't do anything right now.
Before we got, exactly, because we're so bad.
Well, I know we can't do anything right now because Peter Skoronski's hurt. He's had a surgery. He has appendix removed.
Either way, you said going forward because you said in conclusion, which then that's about 10 minutes ago. You said in conclusion, I don't know what the Titans do right now. What do we do on offense?
Well, we can't. We can't make Skoronski just magically appear healthy. So I'm trying to say what?
Nothing.
What? I'm just saying there's nothing we can do. There's literally nothing we can do. We just have to wait for him to get better. Hope Dillard quits sucking, but we don't have money or draft capital to bring in anybody else. That's what I'm saying.
I agree with that. We're stuck here. We literally are stuck.
I mean, yes, that's the original statement. Like you're trying to fight with me, even though you're agreeing with my original statement.
Anyway, Titans.
As you see, we handle losses gracefully around here.
We're bad. We're just bad. There's no way around it. Because in my opinion, I still say Tannehill is not what he used to be, and
I would agree. For one reason, and one reason only, and that's because his legs are cement now.
Yeah, and I think that's part of it. And when I say that, he refuses to run. That was something that helped, and he refuses to run. So that sucks.
One thing he used to do all the time, snap it, run towards the running back, the whole line goes to the other side, fake hands off it, and just immediately turns and tucks and runs. And he'd get like 12 yards before anybody would even get to him, and he'd just slide. It'd go from first to first down again, and we just keep it going, and he don't even step high. Like I feel like when he runs, his feet barely leave the ground. He looks like he's a 35-year-old man trying to run with a bunch of kids. What it looks like.
He aged fast, leg wise. He looks like he aged just super fast. Yeah. Anyway, so we're screwed on offense. I just don't like anything about it. We're screwed. I don't know where to go from here because we got Bengals. Bengals are coming to town. I'll tell you right now, I don't like that. I don't think it's going to be pretty.
Especially if we don't have Skoronski, which I know you don't care about left guard play. But if we don't have Skoronski, on the plus side, they don't have any big names hardly at all on their D-line.
Oh, they do.
But I don't think Dillard's too picky.
No, I don't think so. They have this one guy, and I can't remember his name. He's 97. He's good. Oh, 90.
Is he Hendricks?
Huh?
Trey Hendricks? They still have Trey
Hey.
Hendricks? Take a look at this real quick, and then we got to get out of here.
Yeah, we do. But it's just with this offensive line, our offense sucks.
Hendrickson,
And
Trey Hendrickson, yeah.
yeah, he's pretty good. So I
Yeah.
mean, you have to go to him. And Kelly, you gotta be smarter. You can't just let Dillo just one-on-ones. You can't. And we just continue to do that.
Yeah, so hopefully we start playing better. Hopefully we start coaching better. So like something Mike Vrabel would say in a press conference. Hopefully we play better. Hopefully we coach better. And we'll see how it goes. But I guess that's all we got. You got anything else you want to say in closing?
No. I mean, we're stuck with this offensive line. There's no hope for our offense. And then our defense got torched. So it's
Skoronski, come back soon. Rest easy, buddy. Come back. Save us. But anyways, guess that's all you got for our big old L podcast here.
1 and 2.
Better 1 and 2. Better luck next week against the Bengals, AFC powerhouse, So guess we'll see you next time when we preview that game. Peace out.